Old TVs are always hyped up as the best picture money can buy, but if you look around, LCD TVs are still everywhere. They're cheaper, brighter, and often more practical. So which one is actually better? And more importantly, which one makes sense for you and your living room? Let's break it down technically and then make a real-world decision. First up, let's talk about how LCD TVs work. The simple version is that LCDs use a big light behind the screen and then block parts of it to create the image you see. The technical explanation is a bit more involved. LCD TVs use a backlight, usually made of LEDs, that shines through a whole sandwich of layers. There's a liquid crystal layer that twists to either block or pass light through. Then you have color filters for red, green, and blue, and polarizers to control the light's direction, because the individual pixels don't create their own light. Black areas on an LCD screen are never truly black. There's always some light from the backlight that leaks through, which is why blacks can sometimes look a bit gray. Modern LCDs have gotten much better at this with a feature called local dimming, especially with full-array local dimming or FALT. This allows different sections of the backlight to dim independently, making dark areas darker and bright areas brighter. Now let's switch over to OLED. The simple way to think about OLED is that each pixel makes its own light and can turn completely off. Technically, OLED panels use organic light-emitting diodes. When an electric current flows through a pixel, it lights up. When there's no current, the pixel is completely off, it emits zero light. This is the magic of OLED. It means you get perfect, inky blacks and what we call infinite contrast. There's no backlight, so there's no light leakage. This technology also allows for extremely fast pixel response times and perfect viewing angles, no matter where you're sitting. So let's put them head-to-head on picture quality. OLED's advantages are pretty clear. Those perfect blacks and infinite contrast really make the picture pop. There's no blooming or halo effect around bright objects on a dark background. The pixel response is basically instant, which is incredible for gaming and fast-moving sports. And the viewing angles are excellent, so everyone on the couch gets a great picture. On the other hand, LCDs have their own strengths. They can get much brighter, especially the newer mini LED models. This makes them a better choice for bright rooms with lots of windows. There's also zero risk of permanent image retention or burn-in. And because they're so bright, HDR highlights can often look more impactful. The reality is, OLED is the king for darkroom, cinematic movie nights. But for bright rooms and daytime viewing, a good LCD often wins. Of course, we have to talk about the downsides. For OLED, the main concern is the risk of burn-in. If you have static content on screen for a very long time, like a news ticker or a video game HUD, it can potentially leave a permanent ghost image. OLEDs also have lower sustained brightness compared to LCDs, and they can sometimes dim the picture automatically to prevent overheating. And yes, they are generally more expensive. For LCDs, the downsides are the flip side of their strengths. You get worse black levels and lower contrast. You'll often see blooming or a halo of light around bright objects on a dark screen. The response times are slower, which can lead to a bit of motion blur, and the picture quality can degrade if you're watching from an off-center angle. It is important to note that burn-in on modern OLEDs isn't as common as it used to be, thanks to built-in prevention features, but the risk isn't zero. What about gaming and everyday use? For pure performance, OLED is the champion with its instant response time and unmatched motion clarity. But if you rate a gamer who plays the same game for hours every day with a static UI on screen, or if you plan to use your TV as a PC monitor, a high-end LCD might be the safer bet to avoid any burn-in risk. The good news is that modern models of both types now support all the key gaming features you want, like 120Hz refresh rates, variable refresh rate, and HDMI 2.1. So, who wins? It really depends on you. If you rate a movie lover who primarily watches in a dark or dim room, and you want the absolute best contrast and picture depth, go for an OLED. But if your TV is in a bright living room, you watch a lot of daytime TV, or you're worried about burn-in from gaming or using it as a monitor, a high-quality LCD, especially a mini LED model, is probably the smarter, more practical choice. There's no single best TV, only the best TV for your specific needs. Let me know in the comments which one you're leaning towards. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech breakdowns.